Welcome to the subject Computer Application, Chapter 3 User Defined Methods in Java. What is method? A method or a function is a sequence of statements grouped together and given a name. This group of statements can be called at any point in a program using its name to perform a specific task. Why we need to use method? The methods are used in a program for various reasons. Let me see what are the reasons. First one, to avoid complexity, and we can also hide the details in the program, and we can also reuse the code for some other process, and to maintain the simplicity in the program. Next we will see what is method declaration. To declare a method we need a certain things. What are the things? Access specifier, return type, method name, method body, method signature, parameter list. So these are the things to be needed to declare a method in Java. And these methods can be called in the program. So method declare, it may either specify the type of the value which a method will return, or we can use a keyword called void. So void doesn't have any return value. So look at the picture over there, an example of method declaration. So there in the declaration we have modifier public, return type int, method name max, parameter list is int x and int y, and the body of the method has been defined inside the method. Method can be consist of two parts. One is header part and another one is body part. What is that header part? It is the first line of the function which is declared or defined in a method. And what do you mean by body part? So body part contains the set of statements that was related to the operations can be written in between a curly bracket. So these are the two parts it is necessary to declare in a program. And we'll see what is header part. Header parts have been classified into four. One is modifier, second one return type, third one method name, fourth one parameter list. What is modifier? So modifier, it will tell the compiler how to call the method. And what is return type? It is specifies the type of a value returned from the function. And the method name is the name specified by the user. Next one is parameter list that can be enclosed between a bracket. So these are the four types used in the header part. Now, there are two types of methods. One is built-in methods and another one is user-defined method. What is built-in methods? The built-in methods are already created methods which have been stored in the Java library. And what is user-defined methods? User-defined methods are defined by the programmers as per their needs. So these are the two types of methods. Now we will see how the methods can be existed in three different forms in a program. Number one, it is method prototype. Number two, it is method definition. Number three, it is method call. So these are the three methods forms used in a method declaration. Now we'll see what is method prototype. So method prototype is the first line of a method definition ended by the semicolon. So this can also tell the program about the signature of the function. We can also call it as a method declaration. Now we'll see what is method definition. So this can be invoked during the execution part. A method is called by providing a method name along with the argument list enclosed in the parenthesis. Now we'll see what is method call. A method call is nothing but we can call a method during an execution by providing a method name along with the argument list enclosed within the parenthesis. So these are the three different forms used in a method. Now we'll see what is method signature. It is basically refers to the number and types of the arguments in the method. It itself used to refer to a method prototype. So now just look at the program here. So drawing is a class name and we have used 4 methods which is having a same method name called draw. But look at the parameter over there. We were having a different parameter. It will work and it will execute a necessary output. But same name doing a different action. So this may also call it as a method overloaded. We'll see what is arguments and parameters. What is arguments? An argument is a value itself that is passed to a method when it is executed. So we are passing a value when it is executed. Next, parameter. The parameter list appears between the parentheses following the method name. So just look at the program over there. In a main function, a is equal to object.sum 5, 8 is there. So this 5 and 8 are the 2 arguments we were passed to the parameter which is already declared in a program. So look at the float sum int x and int y. So this int x and y are the parameter. But we cannot say this x and y as an argument. Okay. So next we'll see what is actual parameter and formal parameter. So actual parameter, the parameter that appears in a method call statement are called actual parameter. Formal parameter, the parameter that appears in the function definition are called formal parameter. Just look at a program here. So here int a, int b is a parameter. And inside the method, we have a definition that is written a plus b. And after the method, we have 2 variables, length and breadth. The value has been initialized. And finally, we call that length and breadth in the methods. Okay, so this length and breadth will be act as a parameter. Next, how can we access a method? A method can be accessed or called by providing the same name of the method followed by the parameter enclosed in parenthesis. So look at how can we call a method. So it is a simple program. So area method name is given with 2 arguments and we were calling this area method in the accessing method. Okay, so z is equal to area of x comma y. So this area of x comma y is a calling method. Next we will see what is pure function and impure function. So pure function means the function which return values and do not change the state of object is called pure function. Impure function, it will change the state of object. And look at a program given here. So here add is a class name and public add is given. It is a constructor. So inside a constructor ABC has been defined. That is the value is initialized. And look at the method sum1. Here C is equal to A plus B. Already C value is 1.1. But here the C value has been changed to 20.0. So this C becomes an impure function. Okay. Next we will see what is passing values to methods. How can we pass a values to the methods? There are 2 ways. One is call by value and another one is call by reference. Call by value. The method creates its new set of variables to copy the value of actual parameter and work with them. Next, call by address. So the reference of the actual parameter is passed on to the method. So it will not create a new set of variable. So now we'll see a call by value program. So here already the a value is 12 and I am simply using a print statement to print a a value. So that is about the first print statement. And look at the second print statement. We were using a value method and we are calling that value of a. So what the value method has been given here? Here x is equal to 10 and we have to return x. So what the second print statement will execute? It will execute 10 as an output. And look at the third print statement. Simply here you are calling a variable. So it will print 12. So this is one depending upon the value. Let me see what is call by reference. So call by reference, here the value will be stored in the variable with the help of memory address. Depending upon the address, the value of that variable will be printed. Okay. So look at there. Test t is equal to new test of 5. So it is t is a reference variable and this t has been passed to the change method. So actually what is the change method is here? The change method has to print the value of x. It is equal to 10. So here t act as a call by reference. With the help of a reference t, we are printing a value of that variable. Okay, so this is about the call by reference. Next we'll see what is recursive method. So recursive method is nothing but a process in which a method calls itself continuously. It is called a recursive method. It makes the code compact but complex to understand. So a function will call by itself is called a recursive method. Okay, so look at the program given here. So next we'll see what is method overloading. So method overloading means that there are more than one function doing a different kinds of jobs but have same name. So this process is also known as polymorphism. So polymorphism concept has been given here. So this can also be called it as a method overloading. So look at the program here. It has been given sum, okay, with a different action. Sum is a method. First sum is having a 2 argument and second sum is having a 3 arguments but doing a different task. Okay, so that's all about this class. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you.